All right, Hans, start with Vindman here. So Vindman is mentioned so many different times in this report,
Right.
yet the Democrats just conveniently leave off very, very pertinent, even critical pieces of information that Vindman offered under oath, under penalty of perjury.
Right. Right. Not only that, but we should mention that he wasn't in on the phone call. So everything he was doing, the opinions he was expressing, were based on second and third hand accounts of what happened. How in the world is that relevant when you don't have actual direct evidence? Basically, you only have opinion evidence. That is just not relevant to impeachment of the president.
Right. I believe Vindman himself was on that phone call because he's the one who testified in the hearings that the transcript, the readout, that Democrats are saying, well, it's not the full transcript, it might not be accurate. Vindman, even though he is no fan of President Trump, testified, I was on the call and the transcript is materially accurate to what happened on the call. Putting to bed the Democrats' claim that the readout was excluding something that was really important. None of the other witnesses, or very few of the other witnesses, were actually on that phone call, and none of them could provide any firsthand proof that President Trump had engaged in a quid pro quo, and yet that part the Democrats left out of their report as well.
Well, yeah, it was left out of the report, and you know, we just had a hearing of supposedly experts in constitutional law, a bunch of law professors, and one of them, Jonathan Turley, pointed out that in fact the record that's been produced by all of these witnesses, including the lieutenant colonel, actually don't support any of the claims they're making. They don't support the claim of a quid pro quo. They don't support the claim of extortion or bribery, and they don't support the claim that there was somehow a campaign finance violation by the president.
Right. Absolutely not. And I want to show this video, too, before we move to the substance of the report. Gordon Sondland's name was mentioned, I believe, close to 500 times in this report.
Right.
Sondland was asked directly during his testimony if he has evidence that President Trump tied U.S. military assistance to Ukraine to an investigation into Joe Biden for President Trump's political benefit here. This is Sondland's answer. Take a look.
And you've also testified that your understanding, it became your clear understanding, that the military assistance was also being withheld pending Zelensky announcing these investigations, correct?
That was my presumption, my personal presumption based on the facts at the time. Nothing was moving.
I mean, that's so critical. It would almost be comedic if this weren't an attack on the President of the United States for the Democrats to so mischaracterize what Gordon Sondland said. He corrected Adam Schiff and said, well, it was my assumption. It's what I assumed. I presumed this, but he never was told by anyone.
No, that's exactly right. And we know that, in fact, there was only a short delay, and the military aid was provided. And again, that was one of the issues that was brought up in the judiciary hearing today, again, by another professor, Jonathan Turley. And he pointed out that those kind of temporary holdups in aid to foreign countries happens all the time and has happened with prior presidents numerous times.
Right, which again, all the witnesses, when they were asked, all these witnesses that were supposed to be friendly to the Democrats admitted the same thing.